quite good, very good. But after 2 books, they were sort of bought over by, I forget the name, but one of these American big publishers. They were a small firm and they had an ideology and they were doing very well. Then they were bought over. Everything changed. The lady with whom Ruth was my editor, and she was very friendly, and we could sort of communicate on equal terms and all that. She lost her job because they wanted to downsize. So I lost my contact, and I did try one more book with them, but I was not happy. What I had from Ruth, I knew I couldn't get from anybody else. But otherwise, they taught me professionalism in editing, in writing. I still remember the first page, that long time I had the word gay. And my editor wrote and said, gay means something quite different today. Wouldn't you like to change the word? I thought, what a shame. Gay is such a gay word, Why should it mean something else? But it was for me quite a learning experience, editing, and I became more careful about my language and all the other things, punctuation and this and that. So I think slowly learn to become more professional. Professionalism is one, you're a writer, you write. Okay. After the writing is over, there's a lot of work to be done. I used to see my father, the manuscript as is, he would give it to the publisher. There was no question of anyone doing anything. Here, a lot of editing is required. I myself learned to do it myself. A lot of editing. You look at the number of words, and then you look at the format. How am I going to put it, chapter-wise or section-wise or what? So these are all the things I learned as I went along, how to do that with my manuscript. Secondly, when you sign a contract with an editor, with a publisher, I think there are many demands that you give the novel at a certain time, and then do you have the launches, etc., etc. So how to deal with all that? You have readings to do. So I also found that in the 90s I had a lot of lectures. I was invited to seminars, and I did a lot of traveling, a lot of lecturing, etc. in those times, the interviews, etc. So you need to be very much a professional to deal with all these things. You cannot go there as a woolly-headed author and sort of, you should be very clear about what you say, what you want. I remember I went to Amsterdam. There was a kind of lecture which was a very prestigious lecture. And the first thing they asked me was about Khalistan movement and about the Sikhs, and whether the Indian government is not doing away with the human rights of the Sikhs. That was one of the questions. Then there was the question about Kashmir. So sometimes you have to learn to, deal with these things as well. We'd gone to Germany, Munich. There also, there was a lot of politics. Being authors, you're supposed to also be able to talk on behalf, that's what I learned, on behalf of your country. You're in a sense representing your country, which is a good feeling, but at the same time not easy. So these are all, plus the writing part of it, the professionalism. And the real professionalism comes in trying to make the publisher pay you more money, but that never happens. So I've given up. At the most I'll get a little more. Then I look at it this way. Whether I get an advance or whether I get it after the sales, it comes to the same. Now I know it's not so easy. If they give me an advance, they will try to recover the money, so they will try harder to sell. So I've been a bit of a fool in these matters. I'm incapable of dealing with money matters. And I'm also not one who's very mercenary in these things. I must get my due. I do want that. At the same time, I'm not going to go on bargaining for I have enough to live on. The way I see it is that I'm not greedy. I have 2 meals a day, I have a house to live in, I have enough clothes to wear. I want my book to be done, published well. That is more important for me. And I don't want to bargain over it somehow. And I think I've dealt with people who have understood me, so it's been good.